Welcome back, denizens of the night, to V Rising. We've got an interesting challenge for us today. One of the newest bosses to come with the game's full release is Simon Belmont the Vampire Hunter, one of the main characters from the original Castlevania series. Despite his level being hidden, he's basically a level 80 V-Blood. Simon roams the map in many places. You'll usually find him in the Dunley farmlands, but you might also run into him in the Farbane woods if you're unlucky. Make sure not to fight him during the day. He has a habit of destroying all the trees around him. I would also recommend topping yourself off with several potions to help in this fight. He can be as tough as some of the shard bearers. I should also mention, he has his own boss music. It's pretty sweet.
Behold the might of the Belmont bloodline!
Simon has a lot of attacks. Let's start with his whips. He can lash his whip in a straight line in front of him.
Monster can escape a Belmont's justice!
He can also whip back and forth 3 times. And he can spin his whip, blocking any frontal attacks. He also throws bottles, which explode and leave fire on the ground. The fire lingers for a very long time, so be careful. He can also lob the axe on his back in the direction you're heading, so watch carefully. When he does a knife throw, he'll throw 3 in a row, and they're pretty fast. If you're out of his reach, he will jump straight at you to close the distance.
Witness the power of Belmont! My axe vanquishes evil! Your end descends!
With all the fire he causes, you're going to move around a lot, so it won't be a surprise if you're caught off guard by a patrol or 2.
Prepare for your end! You cannot penetrate my defenses!
He can also throw his axe like a boomerang straight in front. You can counter it, but if you dodge it, keep in mind that it can turn around and come back and hit you again. If a windstorm circles him, he's about to unleash a large area of attack around him. Lastly, he has a charge attack. Dodge or counter this, because if you're hit by it, he'll try to follow up with a 2-hit combo for some pretty massive damage.
Your reign ends here.
At around 50%, he'll enter his second phase. You'll know it starts because he unleashes a whip attack all around him that sets fire to the area. From now on, his whip attacks will leave fire on the ground, and when he throws his axe, he'll throw 3 of them. When going into this fight, the only thing I recommend is to bring at least a counterattack ability, and some form of healing. While you could just heal with potions, you're moving around and reacting a lot in this fight. Blood Fountain or Veil of Blood are pretty good. I brought both so I could extend the fight in this video for as long as possible.
Behold, my blessed blades!
At around 25%, he'll unleash his ultimate attack, Mending Cross. He shoots beams of light in 4 directions, but they're pretty easy to dodge. Simon heals during this phase, but you can slow it down if you can destroy his shields before the ability ends. If you manage to do this, he'll be stunned and open to attacks.
My honor, there will be vengeance!
After his ultimate, it's the final phase of the fight. Holy bolts will now start raining from the sky. You have to contend with those and every ability I talked about up until this point. Take everything you learned and finish him off.
I'll cut you down! You cannot penetrate my defenses! Witness the precision of a Belmont's blade! This whip captures... Even the strongest can be vanquished. knowledge acquired.
Upon defeat, you'll unlock the Sanguine Whip recipe. If you've already defeated Domina the Blade Dancer, then you've already unlocked the Iron Whip. This recipe, however, is needed if you want a whip weapon beyond level 23. The whip is basically a long-range melee attack, like the spear, with a bit more range but a bit slower. Its Q ability charges into enemies with a spin attack, and the E ability will tangle enemies, leaving them unable to move for a couple seconds, unless you attack them. This fight might look like a lot, but it's pretty fun. I hope you enjoy it. Until then, bloodsuckers, good night.